Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy Monday. Welcome to the channel Wisdom Circle. I'm Monica Bay, also known as the Divine Mother, and I am always here to bring you guys truth. All right, and as you know, on the channel Wisdom Circle, I channel the Cosmic Collective Consciousness, which is a very specific stream of consciousness that comes through me and speaks. And it's also the same stream of consciousness that literally takes over my body and writes the Book of Rashida. So today, that's just for you new people in case you need some edification. All right, so today I want to start with a statistic because what they've already told me what they want to talk about today. So I'm going to start with a statistic because this is an important statistic and it may shock you, but maybe not. So 1 in 3 people, that's 1/3 of society, and this is in the world. Okay, 1 in 3 people feel lonely on a regular basis. So this is actually a serious, oh, earring fell. Okay, this is actually a serious issue that so many people are dealing with on a regular basis. And this is what they want to talk about today. They want to talk about loneliness and what that means. And when you are feeling lonely, and when you think of loneliness, it's some of it may not be what you're thinking of immediately. Okay, there's many different types of loneliness. There's the obvious loneliness when you feel lonely and you feel like you're grasping for something, right? But there are other types of loneliness that are kind of hidden layers of loneliness that indicate different things. So what you need to understand about loneliness is that loneliness is a messenger. Okay, if you are feeling lonely, if you are feeling isolated, if you are feeling misunderstood, because feeling misunderstood is another type of loneliness. Okay, when you are feeling that way, this is a signal from your soul telling you something. Remember, I always tell you guys, we get messages all the time. We always get a message that tells us something. It depends on if we're listening or not. If you're not listening, you'll get the message, but then it won't mean anything because you're not doing anything about it. So you have to listen to these messages, and loneliness is a message. So, okay, Felicia said she feels that. Yes. Okay, so yes, if you are feeling lonely, listen up. If you ever feel lonely, listen up. And even if you're not, listen up anyway, because 1 in 3 people, when this happens, you need to understand the red flag that it is, really what to do with it. So one of the reasons why people feel lonely, we're going to just talk about one at a time right now, is when we are feeling misaligned. Okay, a lot of times when you're feeling lonely, sometimes it feels like something is just missing out of your life, and you may not know why, because you may, have some friends, you may have whatever, but something is missing, and therefore that feeling of loneliness is really our spirit reaching out. It's our spirit reaching out, and sometimes we reach out to the wrong things when we're feeling lonely. Sometimes we reach out to the wrong people. Sometimes we reach out for the wrong type of recognition as well. Sometimes loneliness leads us into our ego, and we seek different types of recognition that is really toxic to us. So if you are a person who does that, definitely pay attention. Okay, this is a message from your spirit. You have to be careful about that reaching out. You have to be careful about that desperation that loneliness brings. Sometimes, again, if there's a misalignment in your life, okay, if you are on the wrong path, if you are feeling uneasy about different things in your life, again, that is your soul reaching out, saying, "Hey, knock, 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 what's going on? Let's get back on track. We've been telling you blah blah blah, and you haven't been listening, right?" So that feeling of loneliness is the signal. That means that there's something missing. There's something missing from your life. There's something that you are not paying attention to. There's something that you need more of in your life. And so you have to dig deep and figure out what that is, right? But the answer is always there. The answer is always there. All you have to do is ask the question. Okay? Ask and you shall receive. Ask the right question, you will get the right answers. Another type of loneliness that people experience or these are reasons for loneliness. Loneliness is loneliness, but we're talking about the different reasons. So another reason is if you're in the wrong crowd, some people feel lonely when they feel unseen. And that happens a lot. And I know that resonates with a lot of you, because as spiritual people, as we are on our spiritual path, we start to outgrow our peers. We start to outgrow the people that we grew up with, right? The people that we have been hanging out with, the people that we've been calling family, the people that we've been calling friends, acquaintances, so on and so forth. As we elevate, we tend to outgrow the people who are not elevating with us. That doesn't mean anything bad with them. Everyone's on their own journey. Okay, everyone is on their own journey. That's fine. However, not everyone can go on your journey with you. And so as you are around tons of people, I know many of you can resonate with this, because I've heard it from a lot of people. And again, 1 in 3 people feel lonely. I've heard from a lot of people where they feel lonely, yet they're surrounded by people. I have so many friends. I'm very popular, blah, 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 like all of that, right? But you still feel lonely. You still feel like you're alone. And that's because you're in the wrong crowd. That's because you are in the wrong crowd. Change your environment, and then you will not be lonely anymore. That's a message. Again, it's a messenger. Message. It's a messenger that you need to change your environment. If you feel lonely in a crowd of people, you're in the wrong crowd. So you need to seek that seeking. And this is where it gets dangerous. That spirit seeking can infiltrate into the ego and start seeking the wrong things, because you're not asking the right questions and getting the right answers to realize, I'm just simply in the wrong crowd. I need to find my tribe. These are not my people anymore. They were once my people, but I have changed. I am an ever evolving being, and they are no longer my people. That's okay. That's okay. Because guess what? If you are the same person you were 20 years ago, you're doing something wrong. Okay. So there's also, we just talked about guilt the other day. There's also a certain guilt that comes into play as you start to grow, especially spiritually, as you start to grow and as you start to have different beliefs than the people around you, as you start to awaken more and understand things, and other people are still asleep, so they don't understand those things. But again, that's okay. They're on their journey. We're not putting them down. They're on their journey. However, we are on our journey, and our journey is what really matters. Your journey is what matters to you, right? Their journey matters to them. Your journey needs to matter to you. And so if you are in the wrong crowd, if you are around the wrong people, you're not going to feel seen, because they're not seeing you. They're seeing the old you. Okay? That creates a sense of loneliness. It creates a certain sense of isolation, even though you're around so many people. And so when you feel that way, it's time for you to really that doesn't mean you have to never talk to people again. That just means find your tribe. Okay? Find your tribe and allow those people to come to you. Allow the people that are meant for you, your tribe, to come to you. Hey, allow them to come to you. If you put the energy out there that you are open for your tribe, they will come to you. If you stay attached to the old tribe that's no longer your tribe, you're not opening new doorways. You're keeping old ones open, and other ones are they're just maybe ajar a little bit, or maybe they're completely closed. Because if that's what you're focused on, no, this has to be my tribe. These are the people that I've been hanging out with forever. These are the people that I've known forever. So that has to be, my tribe. You're holding on to the wrong crowd, and you will continue to feel that loneliness. You will continue to feel that that yearning and that longing for something more. You will continue to want to be seen. And again, that can go very dangerous routes through your ego. Very dangerous routes. That's how people end up in bad relationships. That's how people end up doing crazy things that they don't need to be doing. Things that are not going to lead them in the right direction towards their life, or where they want to be going in their life. When we get desperate, okay, desperation is a very, very negative and toxic energy. Okay, a lot of times when loneliness creeps in, desperation follows. And when that desperation comes in, that's when the toxicity comes into your energy system, into your life, and then you begin attracting things that you don't want to attract. Desperation attracts definitely the wrong people. I will tell you that right now. Message, okay? Desperation attracts narcissists. Desperation attracts negative circumstances. Desperation attracts con artists, which is a narcissist also. So all kinds of things. You don't want that, okay? You don't want that. It also attracts stupid decisions, okay? It also attracts that. It makes you make stupid decisions, and you don't want to do that. So again, understanding where the source of your desperation is really, really important. And also, another thing is making sure that you also know this part, that another side of desperation, I'm sorry, not desperation, another side of loneliness, a source of loneliness, is simply when you need spiritual stillness. Sometimes our spirit and our energy system and our higher self, all of that together, creates isolation. Sometimes it creates isolation. It starts to push things away in order for us to be in an isolated state for a period of time, because that is what we need. Why? Usually because you're not listening. Usually because you're not listening. And then when you're in that isolated state, sometimes you may feel lonely because it feels uncomfortable being in that isolated state, because being busy and being the opposite of stillness is your comfort zone. Okay. Message. Sometimes if that's your comfort zone, then that feels uncomfortable. So when it feels uncomfortable for you to be in stillness and, oh my God, everyone has, there's, nothing's going on right now. I feel isolated. My friends moved away, this and this and that, right? And you literally feel that loneliness. You have to dive deep inside to see, okay, where is that coming from? Is that loneliness because I have a limiting belief in my mind that this is what has to be happening, or that I'm attached to these people that just left for whatever reason, right? Instead of allowing the opportunity that is there for you to be in stillness for a period of time. And how do you tell the difference between these different ones that I'm talking about? How do you tell when it's simply a brief period of spiritual stillness that's necessary, and spiritual isolation that's necessary in order for you to grow, because maybe you need to be in a cocoon? How do you know if it's that, or if it's you're in the wrong crowd, or if it's a lack of alignment? You go within, and you can tell which feeling is true. So when you start to look at your we'll just say like the spiritual stillness part, if you start to say, okay, you start to dive deep into that feeling of loneliness, well, where is it coming from? Is it because do I feel, when I dive into that, do I feel a frustration about how things should be versus a realization that, okay, I'm not being seen and these are not my people anymore? Or is it that I literally feel like there's something missing in life, not because I believe something should be there, but just because I feel like something's missing? That's how you can tell really the difference between those things. And obviously, if you feel like something's missing, then things are out of alignment. You need to get them back in alignment before your spirit and your ego starts to search for things that are not going to be good for it, because it can't find the right thing. And if it's if you're feeling that you're in the wrong crowd, then obviously it's the wrong crowd one. If you feel that you're attached to what should be and you're focused on what should be versus just being in the stillness and accepting the reality of the stillness, then that's what it is. So again, at the end of the day, when you're feeling any sense of loneliness, you want to dive in and see where that's coming from, and then determine what to do from there based on what that is. But all of that is important to understand as you are going through these types of emotions, because again, if you don't, you will start making very, very bad decisions because of that desperation. And let's talk more about that desperation, because I see so many people making so many bad decisions out of desperation. Whenever you are feeling desperate, always take a walk back. Whenever you notice that feeling, if you find yourself going, like energetically or mentally or emotionally, that's desperation, okay? Just so you know, in case you didn't know, that's what it is. So you don't want that, okay? So if you feel that, then you need to walk it back. You need to walk it back and detach. There's always desperation, always comes with also an attachment to an outcome, an attachment to a circumstance, an attachment to a state of being. I'm glad you like that. An attachment, I'm just laughing at the comments, an attachment to a state of being. Sometimes that state of being is something that you're not supposed to be having right now. Sometimes that state of being is something that's not for you at this moment. Sometimes it is for you, but the desperation itself doesn't help. Desperation also creates resistance in the field. So if you want something and you're manifesting something, you're desiring something, there's nothing wrong with desiring something. But when there's desperation along with that desire, that's a problem because it also it creates a lot of things, but one of the things that it creates is resistance in the field. So it'll actually create more resistance towards the thing that you want. But what it will do is attract the wrong things, according to that. Okay? Because if you have desperation, it's like, I'll take it no matter how it comes. And you will get it no matter how it comes. And it's like not in the best way. Okay. And you're going to be like, oh, damn, I shouldn't have done that. So I shouldn't have manifested that. So again, this is why these things are so important. And because of that statistic of 1 in 3 people feel lonely or experience loneliness frequently in life, that's a big number when you think about it. That means however many people, we're live on 3 different platforms right now, so I can't see all the numbers, but however many people are on this live right now, 1 in 3 of you is feeling lonely right now. Okay. And probably 2 in 3 of you have just gotten either feeling lonely right now or just gotten out of feeling lonely. So that's a big number. And so that means that's very, very prevalent. And this is across the world. This isn't just in the US. This is across the world. So what's leading people to feel this way? These are the things. And again, going within, this is why I'm always bringing you guys back inside of yourselves. At the end of the day, when you go within, that's where the jewels are. That's where the information is. That's where the knowledge, that's where the truth is. And that is your guide. That is your guide. You came here with a GPS. Okay. You came here with a whole GPS. All right. It even has a rerouting mechanism. Okay. If it goes the wrong way, you came here with an entire GPS. It's inside of you. And many of you are not using it. You're not using your own GPS. You're sitting there just trying to make guesses as you're going across, going down dead ends. Okay. You have an entire GPS inside of you. Use it. Use it. Anytime you are feeling any kind of uncomfortable emotion or energy, that is always a messenger. That is always a signal. And loneliness is one of them. But anything that you're ever feeling, that's the time. Okay, this is a signal. Go within. If you're feeling depressed, signal, go within. If you're feeling anxious, signal, go within. If you're feeling uneasy about a particular, this earring just doesn't want to stay on. That's fine. Listen, we are creatures of adaptation, so we will be a 1 earring person today. All right. So if you are feeling uneasy about a particular situation, go within. That's usually a message that something is awry in that situation, or you need to do something, or a warning about that situation. Again, you have that GPS inside of you, and when you go within and you tap in, not only is it going to tell you what's going on, it's going to tell you what you need to do. So you have all the answers inside of you, and I can't stress that enough. So again, if you are feeling lonely, and I'm going to go into the wrong crowd part. If you are feeling lonely because you're around the wrong crowd, how do you find your tribe? First of all, Mystic Temple might be your tribe. It should be. You're watching right now, so so join Mystic Temple. You can go to our Telegram group and join that. We do have a membership that's going to be coming up shortly for you guys to join the inside fam, all right, of Mystic Temple. But find your tribe one way or another. When you think of if you're feeling misunderstood, if you're feeling unseen, you're feeling unheard in the current crowd that you're in the current environment that you're in, what about you is unheard? What about you is unseen? Because it may not be the spiritual side. You may be in a spiritual community or a spiritual group of people or whatever, and you feel seen and everything in that way, but you don't feel seen in other ways. Because some of these spiritual communities out there are just as closed-minded as other communities, because they have tons of limiting beliefs built in, which is why join Mystic Temple. We don't do that here, but there are a lot of spiritual communities out there that have so many limiting beliefs built into them. And then so people feel like, okay, I fit in here, but I don't fit in here. I can't be my whole self in this community. So again, figure out what part of you is feeling unseen. And then whatever that part is, go seek that. Okay? Go seek that. And sometimes you're not able to, you also have to be honest with just yourself in reality, that sometimes you're not going to find everything you need in one community. Sometimes you need to be in a couple communities to really feed your soul of who you are, because you're a unique individual person. And so everything can't be everything to you. Everything won't always be everything to you. Okay, so know that. And just because you're in this community over here doesn't mean you can't also be in this community over here. Remember the talk that we gave a couple weeks ago about our multifacetedness of ourselves, right? How we are multifaceted, we are multidimensional, and we are not just all one thing, and we should not be put in boxes. Okay, and that's part of the problem when it comes to crowds, is we tend to want to fit into a box in a crowd. Okay, and that just doesn't work, because we don't fit in boxes. Okay, we don't fit in categories and labels perfectly, because we are unique individuals, and we're supposed to be unique individuals. So if you are having a hard time finding your tribe, whatever kind of tribe that is, you have to first get clear on what it is you want, what it is you're looking for, and then put the energy out there, make yourself open to it, and take action to start attracting and meeting those types of people to create your tribe. It's very simple. I needed this message in high school. Yes, definitely. Definitely, Alita. So the point is that if you are not seeking, if you are not clear, let's talk about that clarity too, because we talked about the other day, the cosmic collective consciousness in one of the lives the other day. I had channeled something. Oh yeah, it was about the manifestation, and how we have to be clear about what we want. And a lot of times we're not clear on what we want. So the universe is like, we're like this to the universe. I don't know, one of these, I don't know. And so it's like, okay, well, we don't know what to give you. We'll just throw some salad at you and see what happens. And so that also stands true here, because if you don't know what it is, that you want in terms of your tribe, then you're not really going to find them, because you're not focused. You're not focused enough. You're like, well, you'll get anything. If you want anything, you'll get anything. If you don't know what you want, you'll likely get anything. You have to be clear about what it is that you want. We're talking about taking the reins of your life, right? We're talking about taking the reins of your life and taking the reins of your reality. So if you want to take the reins of your life and your reality, you need to be clear on what that reality is. What kind of people are in your tribe? Write it down. This is something I actually help people with it through coaching as well. I've helped a lot of clients with this, because this is a very, very common problem. Especially, like I said, especially among spiritual people, a lot of the gaps are spiritual, but I want to open that up for beyond spiritual, because it really could be anything. So write down the list. Make a list. Who do you want in your tribe? Okay. Who do you want in your tribe? What qualities do these people have? What interests do these people have? How do they align with you? How do they feed your soul? And how do you also feed theirs? Because here's the thing, people. Okay, tribes are symbiotic. Okay, they are mutually beneficial. So don't just think about what you want, but also what you're giving. Because guess what? If you're not offering much, then you're not going to attract the people that you want either. Okay, everything is symbiotic. That's the way that relationships work. Okay, healthy relationships work. That's the way healthy friendships work, is through a symbiotic, mutually beneficial relationship. You're both getting something out of the soul contract. Okay, find your tribe, attract your tribe, because the reality is you have a tribe. It's just waiting for you. It's waiting for you. And you have multiple tribes. They're waiting for you, okay? People that you've already contracted with. But if you are holding on to old realities and old environments, you're not opening up yourself for new ones. Okay. So with regards to misalignment, if you are not on the right track, if you are feeling uneasy, and sometimes that uneasiness translates to loneliness, and you feel like something is missing, after you've gone within and discover what that is, then it's time to take action. Misalignments require action to correct them. Okay? Message. So what action are you going to take to correct? You have to correct the misalignment. Think about that. And so if that is you, write that down. What do you need to do about correcting that misalignment? How do you get back on the right path? How do you get this thing that is missing? And make sure that when you get the thing that is missing, it doesn't come from your ego. It has to come from in here. Okay? Because your ego will tell you, I'm missing money. I'm missing this. I'm missing that. That's what your ego will tell you. Your spirit will tell you something different. Yes, yes. Thank you, Monique. Yeah, so that's something that you have to pay attention to. Okay, so all of this was a very, very powerful and important message, and I've given you guys a lot of tips and methods and everything to use in each one of these circumstances. But at the end of the day, do something and correct the misalignment, correct the issue, the crowd issue, the tribe issue, and also make sure if you are supposed to be in stillness right now, allow yourself to be in stillness. We just talked about, I think that was Friday, we talked about the guilt of resting, right? So don't fall into that either. Okay, allow yourself to be still and isolated when you need to be isolated. But again, you will feel when that's the case. You will feel when that's the case. All right, guys. So that is everything that the Cosmic Collective Consciousness has to say today. And I'm getting something else. Okay. So they also want me to just give you guys a chant to help you waken up your spirit they're just giving me a lot right now, so I'm speaking slowly. They are, in order to wake up your spirit so that you can see more clearly, okay? So I'm going to speak in the divine language. Now, for those of you who are new, I'm just going to explain that really quick so you know what's happening. So you're not like, what's going on? So the divine language is an actual real language that the Cosmic Collective Consciousness downloaded to me back in 2014, I think it was, or 2013. I think it was 2013. Anyway, they downloaded this entire language, and it is literally a language from the cosmos. It's not light language, because when people do light language, they actually don't know what they're saying. They're just channeling, but this is an actual language where it literally is repeatable and all of that. So I'm going to just give you guys the chant. This language is very, very powerful. It literally taps into the fabric of the universe and into the fabric of your being. Okay. Etelahate. Etelahate destu. Etelahate destu. Etelahate destu. Etelahate destu. Etelahate destu. Etelahate destu. Osha po. Osha. 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 Evumaste de la hate. Evumaste de la hate. Evumaste de la hate. Ete la hate destu. Ete la hate destu shishen. Ete la hate destu shishen. Ete la hate destu. Distan. Destu. Destu. Eshna popo eshna sha. Eshna popo eshna sha. Eshna popo eshna sha. Shishen. All right. There we go. Hopefully you guys felt that energy. Okay. Alita felt it in her third eye. Nice. Nice. All right. So yes, that was just awakening your spirit. I feel all that energy helping create a rise rising within you, helping to create a rising within you, and really igniting light as well. So, all right, everyone. All right, that's all we have for today. So we will see you guys tomorrow on the Channel Wisdom Circle. Also, letting you guys know, just a quick announcement. On starting next week, every Monday, we're going to be doing the divinity sessions on the Monday instead of Sundays. So every Monday on the Channel Wisdom Circle, we're going to operate like a divinity session. So I'll be dissecting one of the passages in the book of Rashida, breaking that down, giving, powerful messages regarding that. And that will help you get your day started. That will help you get your week started. That's why we're going to do that on Mondays. And then we will continue doing the normal Channel Wisdom Circle Tuesday through Friday. So we will be live still every day from Monday through Friday, and we will get this popping. All right. Okay, good. Dominic said, definitely sizzled my crown. I love it. I love it. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. And oh, wait, one more thing. Sorry. We also have a LG talk coming up on, I believe it's Wednesday, right? Yes, the 19th. Oh, that's tomorrow, actually. So we have an LG talk tomorrow at 7 p.m. with Gordon, with Light Guardian Gordon. It's going to be amazing. So definitely be there. We will be live on all platforms as well. So see you guys then. Have a great day. Bye. Zor Kumti.